Welcome to TransMissions Alt Mode, where we look at the latest comics and other media featuring the Transformers. In this episode, the Zertonians try to achieve unity through tyranny with the Agorrians as we review Skybound's Void Rivals number 22. Today is Friday, August 29th, 2025, and this is episode 457 of TransMissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to TransMissions Alt Mode, the podcast that wants our friends to turn around when we get our asses handed to us by ants. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going? I have no idea what that was referencing.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hello. I wrote that intro, and you'll find out. Let's talk Transformers.
As always, we start with the You got it.
I'm a little slow.
As always, we start off the show by thanking our Donatrions, those lovely people who support us on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you all so much for contributing to the show and keeping us going. Really appreciate it. If you are not a Donatron and would like to become one, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support, and that's where you can sign up. We get bonus content, including our bonus show, We Like Big Bots, and you can get all 14 episodes of that show on our Patreon page. Watch that right there, and you see Daryl and Dr. Pants showing off some of the biggest bots in their collection. We've also got the bonus version of our Transformers live play RPG podcast, Empire of Rust. The bonus uncut version of episode 143, Lock, Stock, and Two Fighting Divisions, is now available. That's been available all this week. And then the regular version of this episode will be up on Monday, September 1st, Labor Day. So you can get that at transmissionspodcast.com/rust. But if you are a Donatron, you get the perk of getting these bonus uncut versions early, a week early, and right on our Patreon page. We've also still got our Toy Hacks August promo code, so you can use that code Star Convoy to get 15% off all your purchases at toyhacks.com, and that will last until the end of September. So just a couple more days before that code expires, but then next episode we'll have a new code for September, don't worry. But yeah, you can use that code right now, Star Convoy, for 15% off everything at toyhacks.com. All right, let's get into the show. We've got a comic review coming up right now.
All right. This week we are reviewing Void Rivals number 22. It's written by Robert Kirkman, art by Connor Hughes, colors by Patricio Del Pesce, letters by Russ Wooten, and editor is Ben Abernathy. The story starts off near the planet Quintessa, where the number of Quintesson ships are increasing. On board the Cobra Lost ship, Pythona orders the pilot Vipra to get to the surface quickly and remain hidden after the last ship lands. She then asks about Dracula, and no one has seen her in a while, so Pythona goes to check on her. She finds Dracula apparently being attacked by her mutated armor, but it was the armor was just startled by Pythona's sudden appearance. Pythona starts attacking it to try to free Dracula, but she convinces her that the armor is not trying, that it's not trying to hurt her. Once everyone comes down, it releases Dracula, and she tells Pythona that it's becoming something new, but she's not sure exactly what it is, just that it means no harm. On Agorria, Springer and Hot Rod are in the fight with the attacking Zertonians. Hot Rod gives Springer some grief about having such a hard time fighting Proximus, but Springer lets know that he cut off Proximus' legs during their last fight, and the legs are apparently back, so he's more resilient. Nearby, Solia is demanding to know who orders the attack from everyone that she's fighting. And the Agorrian army is finally mobilized their forces While in the air, Derek is leading his squadron. He sees Proximus giving Springer a hard time and dives down to blast the Zertonian away from Springer. Proximus stands near Solia, and finally seeing someone that will have answers for her, she engages him in battle. Proximus recognizes that they have both experienced the light of Zerta. Paths towards unity are different. He sees subjugation as the only way. She acts as if she knows more about him than he realizes, and she says that he's always been power hungry. Back in the city, Doolin gets word that nearby districts have been evacuated to protect the citizens, and he orders more platoons and jump jets to be ready just in case if they're needed. On the Skuxoid asteroid base, Skuxoid Alpha realizes that the one with the scratch on his face must have been from his first division, and he calls him Skuxoid Beta. Alpha lets Beta know that the Rockroid ship that he was on was his ship, and Beta stole it. Beta says that he's second to no one, but he realizes that this must be why his memories are so strong. He still feels like his family is out there, and he demands to know where they are. Alpha offers him no information, just that they're not to be spoken of. And then he orders Beta to be sent to the divider, and the robots pull him away as he demands to know what happened to his family. Back on the Sacred Ring, the battle rages on. Springer and Hot Rod have transformed to bash the Zertonians in a demolition derby style, and Doolin feels the tide turning. Suddenly, the gems on all the Zertonian and Agorrians start glowing, and they scream in pain as their helmets fall off. Proximus yells that the unity is beginning. To be continued. So, I largely enjoyed this book. Story-wise, I felt like it was exciting, having most of the story being the battle. It did seem chaotic, but I feel like that was, what you would expect from a good battle. I liked that we didn't have too many diversions to other stories. We just kind of caught up with the Cobra Law, Quintesson stuff and the Skuxoid stuff. But I enjoyed having most of the stuff being on the battle and just kind of different parts of the battle. The art was okay for the most part, but the faces on Springer and Hot Rod just were off for me. They never had closed mouths at all. They always had some kind of smiling, like the same kind of weird smiling face, and it just seemed like, I don't know, the faces were just weird to me, and it was strange because like the faces on the organics were fine. It's just the Cybertronians where the bodies were fine. Didn't see much of a problem there, but the faces just kind of threw me off. But other than that, I thought it was fine. And I'm happy. It seems like we've progressed a little bit in the story. The unity thing that they've been teasing forever is here, and we're moving along with the Quintesson storyline. So I don't know. I just continue to overall enjoy the book, and I think now that you're not being kicked around to multiple different storylines, you have like an A and then a kind of a BC, and it seems to be working better. So, Daryl, let's start with you. What were your thoughts about the book?
There were some interesting story points for this. What was it? I can't remember what they're called. The G.I. Joe type villains.
Yeah, Cobra Law guys.
Yeah, the Cobra Law people. I was they're living armor or something like that. I didn't really like that. I thought that was dumb. So the part with the Autobots fighting Proxima, that was cool because obviously he's so small compared to them, but obviously packs one hell of a punch. So Springer being quote unquote scared or at least a little apprehensive was nice.
It was nice seeing Hot Rod kind of giving him shit about it. Only like, I fought this guy once before.
Yeah. So the battle between the two sides seemed pretty epic. So I don't mind that. The fight, the fact that they kind of like they kept teasing with the connection between Proxima and Solia, right? There's a connection here. There's something between us where you don't, blah, 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 blah. We speculated that they're brother and sister forever at this point. Like, this is Kirkman 101. Like, he is dragging this out like crazy. Like, just freaking tell us what the hell the connection is. Like, enough with with them like dragging this shit out. Like, okay, great. Like, if you've been paying attention, then there's something going on here. Now, obviously, I am not paying attention, and I am part of a collective here that is informing me of all the things I'm missing, which is great because I obviously would miss it. But the dragging out of this information is driving me nuts. The ending of this this ending of this issue, where they all just kind of stopped and removed their helmets because their jewels glowed, with, from what I could tell, no explanation whatsoever, was ridiculous, right? Because I went back and I reread the pages leading up to it, right? And I'm not sure if you mentioned anything in your review, Jeremy, but they all just stop. There is no mention of anything causing them to all just stop.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is just, it's sudden.
Right. So something's going on. Obviously it's affecting everybody. Right. But we're left on this. This is supposed to be obviously the cliffhanger of this issue, which is fine. We have a cliffhanger, right? But you don't see anything happen. There's nothing that happens in at all to kind of like, tease what this is. It just kind of happens. Honestly, for me, the most interesting part of this entire issue was the Skuxoid stuff. So I was really kind of interested in that. I agree with you on the art. I was not a huge fan of the art on this one. Yeah. So whatever. We've been spoiled over the last decade of having incredible Transformers artists on Transformers comics, and now we're not getting that. Right? We're getting artists that can do a lot with other characters, but the Transformers are kind of like secondary or tertiary to the art, and it shows. So, you can
draw vehicles well, but Transformers are not.
Yeah. The one exception is the Transformers book itself. That art has been spectacular. So yeah, the subsequent books, the Transformers book, the Void Rivals book and the G.I. Joe book have been kind of subpar for me as far as art wise. But yeah, as far as this book goes, the story was fine. It pushed the narrative along, which is what it needed to do, but it really, as Kirkman likes to do, answered zero fucking questions. So yeah, it was completely skippable if you needed to skip a book. So yeah, a fight broke out. That's what happened in this book.
Well, it was continuing the fight that broke out last time.
Right. So. Yeah, just more players now.
All right. Well, Charles, what was your thought on the book?
Everything Daryl said.
All right. Well, thanks. That was our review.
Yeah. No. I completely agree with everything Daryl Daryl said. Those are my thoughts too. I mean, Daryl, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. I mean, I was going to mention the Salila and Proximus thing, but you already picked up on it. So good job. No one had to.
You mentioned that
it
issues ago. You guys mentioned that stuff issues ago. So
you remembered it.
Yeah, because you guys beat it into my head. It's there. It's there. So
we didn't mention it every issue, though. We mentioned it the one issue they brought it up, and we mentioned it then, and then we haven't talked about it since then. So you get credit for remembering stuff.
Okay, well, thank you. I'll make sure you tell my wife that I remembered something you said a long time ago.
I don't think she'll care that you remembered something in a comic book.
Or remember something that Charles said. She'll care if you remember something she said.
Who's that now?
But yeah, I mean, also with the not answering any questions, and that's also with the Skuxoid too. It's like, please tell me what happened to my wife and kids. Throw them in the back. So. So no, I mean, come on, throw us a bone, Kirkman.
I felt for the Skuxoid here because this pain that he's been feeling continuously over and over again. I'm like, just give the poor guy an answer, give him something, some closure on this. No, be gone with you. Like,
give us some closure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought the battle was I think it was mostly well done. I thought it was nice to see the kind of a big epic battle with the Agorrians and Zertonians. I agree the art was kind of not the greatest, so the faces did throw me off there. So I don't have any new points to add. These are all points you guys made already. Also the coming out of nowhere with their gems glowing, even just a little indication as to something happening. Like you just get one panel where Salila takes her helmet off and is like, what's happening? And I'm like, I don't know what's happening either. And then everyone's just starts writhing in pain.
Great in the trade.
I hope so.
Because it'll just go right into what's happening.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so I hope that we've got 2 more issues in this arc, so I hope they are able to, because the next arc is the Quintesson War, so I hope that means that this stuff gets resolved, so that then we go right into fighting the Quintessons, I guess. So I guess we'll see. But
they're already on Quintessa, so
yeah. Also, I mean, I
a fleet.
Yeah, exactly. I still don't understand what the point of the Cobra La faction is in this book. Cobra La as an entity does not strike me as a spacefaring entity. I think I've talked about this before, that it kind of doesn't make sense that they have faster than light travel apparently in their living ship, but they hate all technology. They hate all non-living technology, which is basically all that you've got in sci-fi space.
Why have they not conquered Earth with having access to this technology?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But whatever.
I think at best they would be, underwater dwellers.
Yeah. Yeah, not a fan of Cobra La being inserted here. I thought, I mean, maybe it's going somewhere fun or interesting, but right now it's kind of whatever. This is the D plot of the story.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is Void Rivals number 22. So.
All right. Well, let's move on to media news.
All right. Well, in media news, you're not going to believe this, but Transformers Cyberworld, it released another episode. Episode 6 is out. It's crazy. I know it's on YouTube. If you've ever heard of that place, you can watch it there. It's called Bot Battle Royale. Features some bots, and I assume they battle. The episode is 10 minutes long, so feel free to check it out.
One day I'm going to watch some of these episodes and see how good they are, if they're any good.
Not. Anyway, they're there. You can watch them. Yeah. So whatever. That's it for media news this week.
All right. We'll move on to convention news. Okay, so for TF Nation, the MiniCon Reading, their mini convention that they do, like the main TF Nation convention is always in August, but they are doing mini conventions at different points throughout the year. They've done it in the past in March. So now the next one will be on November 22nd, 2025, and they've announced their first guest, and that is Ed Peary. So he is an artist who's done lots of work on IDW comics and then has recently done some incentive covers for the new Skybound Transformers comics. He's also previously was a fan artist and then turned pro and got to do work for Transformers in IDW. So cool. So if you are able in the UK and able to get to the TF Nation MiniCon, you can look forward to meeting Ed. Maybe get some of his books. If you have any of his books, get them signed.
Cool.
So that's all the convention news. Let's finish up with feedback. Okay, just one piece of feedback from our Discord. And this was answering to me because I mentioned in our G.I. Joe review last week, I was struggling with Destro and his metal face and how the metal was perfectly molded to his face where he could give him expressions and, do all kinds of things and show like facial features and everything. And that has bothered me since it just doesn't make sense. And DJ Ronan has a solution for me. So he says, "Hey, Big C, the answer to Destro's mask is simple. Transformium."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, sure. Okay. For those who don't remember, that's from the live action movie Age of Extinction, where they discovered the element that made Transformers transform and they called it Transformium. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough, DJ Ronan. Checkmate. All right, that's all the feedback. So I think that will wrap it up for this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. Thanks again to everyone for watching and listening. Of course, we give a shout out to our Masterpiece Donatrons. These are the folks who continue to support the podcast at our highest level on Patreon, and that's why they get a mention in every episode. So thank you once again to John Forks Levingood and Steve C. And you guys are awesome. So everyone else, you're awesome too. Thank you for watching and enjoying the show. Stay tuned for Transmissions next week, where we'll get into more fun stuff. And of course, Empire of Rust this Labor Day. Enjoy your Labor Day by listening to a new episode of Empire of Rust at transmissionspodcast.com/rust. And that's all for this week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Labor spelt with a U. Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool Transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our Transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.